soon. Yeah.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Dick Jackson. We're back here with another episode of the Hall of Game podcast. We run this maybe as much as I should run it. It's my fault, but we dedicate this towards the African American male community that is trying to level up or get more knowledge or information. It's basically a show that's designed for professional Black men in America. And some of you brothers are not in America. Some of you are in the UK. Some are in South Africa. Maybe this helps you. And we come with tips and tricks and things that we can do to help Black men to go further in their professional life. So we definitely are glad that you brothers are here. I have two wonderful geniuses who come up with the majority of the content for this show. I will go ahead and let Dr. D introduce himself, and then we'll go to Gabe.
Hello, everybody. This is Dr. D coming from South Carolina. I have over 20 years of technology experience. As of right now, my main focus, what I did my dissertation on, is automation. And that's one of the areas I'm going to strongly be focusing on from probably here to the rest of my life. To you brothers out there, be aware of it. It is coming. The COVID pandemic is accelerating it. And however I can help you guys stand out and also attain a better job and stay marketable in this crazy world that we're about to start in, I'm more than willing to help out.
All right. And Brother Gabe.
Hey, what's good? Gabe here on YouTube. Happy to be here. Background in electrical engineering. Start working in nuclear, transition into cybersecurity. And now, after several years, I transitioned into cybersecurity for industrial environments. So your nuclear plant gets hacked, they call in my organization, or your manufacturing plant, or your gas compressor station, or your substation. That's kind of a lot of the work that I do. And I'm trying to get like Dr. D and O'Shea, man. I'm finishing up my master's in March. I'm trying to get like these brothers up here with these advanced degrees. And yeah, I actually just started an adjunct professorship role.
Okay.
Teaching cybersecurity at a university here in Michigan. So yeah, man, I'm just trying to make it, man. I'm just trying to make it, but happy to contribute and happy to be here for the brothers who are listening.
All right. I'm O'Shea D. Jackson, Bachelor's of Science, Biology. Soon, professional degree will be coming in like 6 months. Struggle entrepreneur, shit talking YouTuber. And I'll make a few pennies here and there. Thank you, Brother Jonathan Hampton, for the brother pill. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. So today we're going to be talking about, it's an interesting topic. Dr. D is going to give us one for tomorrow, but I wanted to tomorrow we're going to be talking about is our skills and education still needed, right? Because I know that's Dr. D stuff. But today we're talking about how Black men can professionally show their work. It's an interesting topic. Why are we talking about this today, Brother Gabe?
Yeah, I think that kind of how I said in the email, I think that one thing that we came up with as we were kind of in math class in elementary school, it's the whole idea of showing your work, right? Your math teacher did not allow you to just write down the answer and walk away, right? Because sometimes, right, they might think that you might be cheating and you might have wrote down the answer, or they really are trying to test to see the steps that it took for you to get to a problem, or for you to get to an answer to a problem. And I think that in the professional world, it's that same concept is very important. I think here in the Black manosphere, that's been a talking point some years ago as it concerns showing your work, who you actually really are, or kind of proving the accolades and the things that you said that you were. But I think that it's very important for Black men to be able to do this in a professional setting too. So I thought that might be something that we bring up, right? Because brothers who are listening, it's very important for us to kind of develop this, right? To have these things that we can show as it concerns our professional portfolio to the world. I think that really is the foundation for having a discussion, is ways that you brothers can use, or things that you brothers can use to professionally show your work.
Okay. No, thank you. And try to, brother Yeet, when it comes to having a career, is it better to do something you're passionate about or what you're good at? Thanks for your inputs. Okay, I'll let the hall answer that. But go ahead, Dr. D. What's your input on this?
Yes, I agree with what Gabe was saying, yes, in life now, in this world that we're living in, it is essential. You must show your work. I remember the same thing in math class. You couldn't skip to, and somebody in the comments, they brought back 10th grade 20 years ago to proofs. All I could use to write down, I think the proof was the last of the first, and I can't remember, and you got to fill in the rest. So it is very important to show your work in life. You're going to have to work hard. It's not where you come from. It's where you're going. I have on a South Carolina State B. I graduated from here with my computer science degree. This is one of the things I want people to remember. Don't let the school you come from prohibit you from growing and going anywhere. That's one of the stigmas now that Black men need to overcome. Well, I came from this area. I'm going this place. Don't let that prohibit you from growing and reaching your full potential. But it is essential to show your work in life because, as we all been saying, the big thing now, the word of the year on YouTube should be receipts. You got to show your receipts of the women you could pick up. You got to show the receipts of the money you could get in, the money you're getting. So her work pays off. You have to remember that.
No, definitely. Let me also shout out again to the brother, Jonathan Hemphill, for another $20 super chat. I really thank you. Before I get my input, let me go back to Brother Gabe and see where he wants to take us today in the show, and then I'll add later. Brother Gabe, what are some of the things that we're going to be talking about today?
I think some of the things that I'm thinking about are ways that we can show our work, and probably maybe even a better way to start it off is to say what some of the benefits are and what some of the misconceptions are too. I think a misconception is that, or an issue that we can arrive at if we're not showing our work, is the whole thing that people can just be out here lying, right? People do that all the time, right? They propose themselves as being something that they're really not, and they don't show any proof as it concerns who they really are. I think Dr. D was speaking about getting women, right? But like, how about getting jobs too, right? Who's to say? Like, people can put things down on a resume. People can put things down in a forum online and can be straight up lying about it. And that's why showing your work really is something that is able to prove what that is. Because when a recruiter reaches out to you, they're looking for something as proof that you have had this experience and that you can do this particular job. So I think that one thing that's important about us showing our work is that people are out here lying. And especially here on YouTube, right? We see that a lot of times. I
didn't want to say anything, but go ahead.
I was just saying,
I was gonna leave that part alone, but go ahead.
I was just saying, like, people say that they this and that, and they say that they that and this, but there's nobody to back them. There's nobody to back that material. And I'm even thinking profession. Like, I know some brothers here in the YouTube space, or just in general, where they'll put down that they have a certain certification, or they'll push something that they haven't even accomplished themselves, or they'll have a certification on their LinkedIn profile and it's expired. So you don't got that no more. So how are you pushing something that you don't even have yourself? So I think that's one thing that's very important for us showing our work, is so that we're not just out here lying, right? Because anybody can make something up, but if you show the steps, if you have recommendations, if you have things that are backing you in proof that you are able to do something, then that is more of a value add to say who you really are.
Yep, exactly.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna get that to y'all.
I don't even have nothing to say about that. You didn't sum that up. We could end the show right there. But go ahead, Doc.
And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, these 9 digits called your social security number is going to tell everything about your life. So what's funny? Your social security number gonna tell everything, and you can't put you have a degree. The job I've applied for, they either want the paper copy of your degree back in the day, but now they can run your social. When I got my doctorate degree, that was in May. A school did a background check in June, and I asked for the results. It already showed it attached to my social security number. So the thing is, yes, it already had showed everything attached to my social, whatever clearinghouse they use now. So now they don't have to call people. When you fill out these background checks, they can see if you have the degree or the experience. A certification has a number attached to it. So all they got to do is send out, because my fiance last Monday got her PMP, and it printed out the certification number and it showed the date and everything. and it printed out everything. I said, wow, so nobody can lie and say they don't. So nobody can lie and say they got a PMP because it has a number that they can check a registry with. And like Gabe was saying, I'm big on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn now has become more of a bragging place. I'm just going to be honest. It's not more of a network, and it's more for people to get on there and lie and talk about things they want to do and are trying to do. But on your profile, you could put you have this, you could put you have that, as Gabe was saying. And you're going to have a recruiter say, hey, you say you have this, sir. What number is it?
Yep.
Do you have a physical copy? Can you scan it to me? Or one of the biggest things is some people go into job interviews lying about their skill set. Then they go have a subject matter expert there saying, hey, you say you know how to program in C#, right? I want you to write me 5 lines of code. And they're going to say, well, you lied about saying you could do this and that. So you are going to get tested with your skill set. The biggest thing I could tell folks, since we're talking about on the professional getting noticed, make sure your resume reflects your skill set, because they will bring people into an interview that are subject matter experts that can see between the bullshit. Because you could say, well, I've got a master's degree. Well, anything. I have an MBA. The first thing I know how people lie that they don't have an MBA. What's one of the biggest things you learn about SWOT? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. There is no business class in a graduate degree, MBA. That's one of the big focal points. A SWOT analysis. It's a benchmark. Every company does it. They'll talk about equilibrium, supply chain and demand, project management. So now they're handing out degrees left and right. And see, now we're living in a society to where they're watering down the product because everybody can get it. But the thing is, do you know what to do with it once you get it? And I am so tired of being around people. I have this, I have that. I have a doctorate degree. You will have people say, well, I have this kind of doctorate degree. That does not equal to what I have. And they'll say, well, I had to write a dissertation just like you did. But what is the focal point, and what did you do, quantitative or qualitative? Because we've met, I don't know if y'all met a lot of people. It's a term called ABD. ABD is everything but dissertation. If somebody's been an ABD for 8 years, that's telling you there's a serious problem, because you've done all the work besides complete the dissertation. And the big problem about that is you're going to meet people that say, well, I'm thinking about finishing. I want to finish. But the point is, you're going to have people that got it. And that's going to end the discussion. So,
and I think, and I'm seeing something continually in the chat. They're talking about LinkedIn. I think professionally, that is definitely the place where a lot of professionals need to put their accomplishments. I know, Dr. D, you said people do a lot of talking about some crap, right? Yep. But when you put it there on that LinkedIn profile, it leaves it in the hands of those viewing eyes to be able to verify. So I think that's one of the first places where brothers who are professional need to put up their experience and their background.
Oh, right, have a professional picture. Please don't have some hood picture on there with you at Black Bike Week down here in Myrtle Beach. Have your picture. Have a professional picture. Get one taken or get one at work. But make sure your photo is very professional looking. Make sure you don't have a hood ghetto ass email address like big time gangster at yahoo.com. And it's little small things like that. I know some people will say, don't put your picture on your resume. I don't know, why would you want to do that? Because now people can use that to toss your resume to the trash. Why would you put your picture on your resume? I totally disagree with it. Don't put your picture on your resume.
Okay, let me shout out to people. For the Wrench Turner, hate that I missed it. Give him hells, bro. Shout out to Wrench. For the Coach Ali, get the likes up, ninjas. Here's a little something towards the collard green sandwiches. Thank you for that. He did a really good interview with me earlier today. Well, it was posted today. Tony, Uncle Tony. Yeah, I have a collard green certification. You know it. Brother Jonathan Hiphill again. And let me just you guys answer this question real quick for Brother Yeet or Yeet Beach. And thanks for all the brothers that are here. Make sure you like the video, guys. And if you want to support the stream, you can. When it comes to having a career, is it better to do something you're passionate about or what you're good at? Thank you for your inputs. What do you guys think?
You want to go ahead first, Dr. D?
Nah, you go. I got to really think about it. That's a very good question. The person asked it.
Yeah. It's better to do something with you're passionate about or what you're good at.
Okay.
What if you do both?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Go ahead, Dr. D.
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. I've been an adjunct professor for 6 years. One of the things is why I became one is I remember how professors taught me when I was in undergrad and at that time graduate school. And I always said to myself, when I get the opportunity to teach students, I do not want to teach them how I was thrown on an island saying, you got to find your own way back. I want to have compassion for the students. I want to work with them. And I could see through every bullshit lie talking about, well, my internet got cut off, Dr. Dix, I can't turn my assignment in. I hear every excuse in the book. And the thing is, I like it and I'm passionate about it. Teaching is my second love because there's no amount of money you can pay me when students write me emails or I get an evaluation said he was a great professor, nothing needed. Or when you call people, being a professor, you deal with real life problems. People have called me and their parents have died, their children have died, their grandkids have died. They are sick. People now have COVID, and you're put in a position where you got to think fast. And the thing I like about it is it's helping with me become a better person. It's helping with my personal skills. And I am able to, I went ahead of many of these students and I'm able to share my experience with them. So that is why teaching is my second love. I really like influencing the lives of students. It doesn't matter what race, it doesn't matter what gender. I like building that bond to where, they say, I'm really enjoying the class. Can you reset something for me? Can you help me do this? And I've realized I'm good at managing students. I'm good at having a vision down the line because now other schools have talked and said, we need to rebuild our curriculum. So having that vision, and having that passion to want to influence and make people better has really made me become more of a educational person. And I'm pretty sure in the years to come, that's probably where I'm going to end up finalizing my career at, is in higher academics, being the president of a university, or, where I actually get to make a big global impact on the students.
So you put both together, right? Where you were good at and also where you were bad. I agree. Same. Like, I think that you need to just find something where both align, right? That's one thing that I've done. Like I've always loved technology, went into engineering, but I found that I wasn't getting trained. So I'm like, hey, let me go into another subset of engineering. Let me look at cybersecurity as something else that's involved there, but still keep my engineering background and foundation. So, and combining that with consulting, I'm able to see so many different environments, so many different customers, while still doing the thing that I love, and I'm very good at it, man. I just got a nice little bump, end of the year bump, Q4 bump, so I was really happy about that. So, not only do I think I'm good at it, but my organization thinks I've been doing a good enough job where they were able to bump me up a bit and pay for it. So, I think that you can combine both if you really look. Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Doc.
Oh no, go ahead, O'Shea. We've been talking. You can go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'll come after you.
And one of the things is you will have the most miserable life if you do things for the money. If you see a job, your life will be completely miserable, because I've met people and they work big time jobs, but they're miserable. I'm going to have to admit, teaching gets on my nerves sometimes, but I like it because I get to help students out. But the thing is, you make good money on this part-time doing it, but that's not the reason I'm doing it. I get to help people out. And one of the biggest things I tell anybody, choosing things for money will leave you miserable. When we did computer science, when I went to SC State, I met a lot of people that said, man, this was back in 2006 when I started, 14 years ago. Man, I'm gonna major in computer science because they make a lot of money. But I used to ask the guys, do you know anything about computers? Because I've been messing with computers since 1995. I was about 10 years old, 11. We had a Tandy computer. So I've always known about computers and how things work. So that's one big thing about, choosing a professional path and putting your work out there. Choose something you're passionate about and choose something to where you're not just doing it for the money, because people can see if you're serious about stuff or you're just in it for the money.
Let me say this. Shout out to Brother Yardley. What's up, O'Shea? Merry Christmas. Keep the good work. Keep helping brothers. Thank you. So it also depends. Shout out to the brother out there. My brother, man. It also depends on what position that you're in. For example, before I came to Poland, I was working a job I was decent at, but the job was shitty and it was dead end. I mean, I was getting like $60,000 a year. Now, I wanted to get to professional school, which is what I am passionate about. But I do like to do this, which is social media content creating. I was doing that kind of stuff for free, so I was figuring out strategies in my spare time. But I had to work and I had to keep my bills paid and I had to save money to clear things so that I can get to where I am now. So, in other words, you do what you can do for the time being until you can get better. That's also that circumstance. And it's, as a man, you don't have the ability to be like, well, all the time, I really love music, so the job that I'm at right now, I'm gonna just leave and go follow my passion. Well, if you don't have anything going for yourself in the business, because a lot of entrepreneurship stuff is about momentum. Like momentum is something that a lot of brothers got to really understand. Like when I spent that 11 months on the continent of Africa, it didn't matter that COVID hit. I had so much momentum going that when I hit the ground, it was already running. I already been there like 10, 11 times. I already had a lot of things. I had a lot of infrastructure. So when I kicked in the gear, when I got there, I was doing better than I ever was. So it's also about you do what you can. Do you have momentum going into the next thing and the timing? Now, the timing is never the best to do something, but it's just sometimes they're better. Do you have infrastructure to do what you're doing? And then do you have a way to earn from that? Because if you don't have a way to earn from it right now, then you need to keep doing what you're doing so you can do better. Now, it may cost you working a few jobs to save up some more money. It may cost you some sleep, not hanging out with your friends and things like that. There's sacrifices that are going to be made, but you have to make sure you build the path to the next opportunity, which is what you want to do. Now, then also what I would say, if it's something that you're passionate about, well, what you're passionate about, do you know how to earn from it? If you don't know how to earn, maybe you need to buy a consultation from somebody who can help you earn from that. Like, it's a lot of people who are passionate about YouTube and they can't make $1 off this motherfucker.
Not $1.
It doesn't matter if you're passionate about it if you suck. Like, you know what I mean? There's some people who are, like, for example, there are a lot of NBA basketball players who are really good at basketball, but they want to be rappers. Guess what? No NBA rapper sells records. I mean, I'm just being honest, right? You got a lot of a lot of rappers who would like to be beat producers. Not many beat producers are rappers outside of Kanye West. Very seldomly do you see these things, right? Michael Jordan wanted to play baseball. Michael Jordan was terrible at baseball. That was his passion, right? Michael Jordan loves golf. He is terrible at golf. He's an excellent basketball player, right? So a lot of times you use what you're good at to what you want to do, but then when you get to what you want to do, are you good at that? Because you got to be whatever you want to do and support yourself. You better be fucking good. The thing about YouTube is, not only do I like this shit, I kick you niggas ass on this platform every motherfucking day. I'm really good at this shit. I don't give a fuck who don't. I'm one of the best niggas at do this shit in the world. Like, I'm not bragging. It's the truth. Every month I'm getting 4 million views on you niggas. I'm good. I'm great at this shit. I love it. And that's why they pay me to do this shit, because I'm one of the better motherfuckers in the world at this, in this space. I'm great. But if you're not good, it don't matter. So then you need to be, if you're passionate, you need to get good to make money. It also has to be feasible. I'm gonna just say this real quick. Women make decisions about how they feel and don't think about it. You can't do that, right? Because if you do it, you look stupid. So if you're passionate about it, are you good at what you're passionate about? Are you willing to keep doing what you're doing right now? And then that could be because a lot of times you wake up and go to Michael Samuel, timeout. You keep asking the same shit over and over. You donate some money, I'll tell you. I hate when niggas do that. So you got to give yourself time to, like, I'm passionate about Africa. Took me 3 years to get into the market. So it got to be feasible. That's all I got to say. All right, let's get back to the topic, Gabe.
I think that kind of aligns, right? Because it's so then the question becomes, right, you have become better and better at YouTube. You have become, like, your passion has always been there.
Yeah.
But I know that times when you have spoken about it, you've spoken about how you have went to people who were doing better than you, right? At YouTube, right? But they had to see that you was putting something in, right?
Yeah.
You had to have some type of proof. So was your proof the success that you had previously had on your channel, or did you show them it in some other way? Like, what was the work that you showed to those who were beyond you in YouTube so that you might be able to increase and go further?
That's a good question. So the thing about it with YouTube, if a person is a really good YouTuber, the way you can gauge it are their mechanisms, their sites like Social Blade. If it's a YouTuber that's in a certain space, like the black space, you can tell if a YouTuber has, you can tell they take the business serious. How often do they upload?
Okay.
Because to make any money on YouTube from average YouTubers, some guys are big enough where they can, upload a video a week, alpha male strategies, guy like that. But for the most people, you have to upload regularly. So the thing about if you're uploading regularly and the content is, edited, if the sound is really good, then to bigger YouTubers, it goes to show that this guy takes the business serious. The thumbnails take the business serious, right? The community he builds around the content, YouTubers can see it and see if it's active and if it's thriving. Is the comment section thriving? And then you can gauge. If you go to Social Blade, everybody can put your name in and see what your views are every month. If you're a YouTuber that gets over, in any sector, 500,000 views a month is really good. If you're a guy that gets 1 million or 2 million views in a month, that's gold standard. 3 million is like, that's top 5% shit. So so a guy will be like, oh, this is the guy I would want to work with because he has value. So this is somebody I know is serious about the business. So that's the way you tell, because you can tell by the you can look at the views of every video, you can see.
Right. So your work is public, right? Public metrics that show that you have been putting in work on YouTube.
Yes.
And brothers, for the ones who are listening, that exists for all different types of industries, because the same thing exists for the tech world. And let me talk a little bit about my particular industry, especially in cybersecurity and tech in general. There are several things that are very important for you to be able to show as it concerns your expertise. One is as it concerns the organizations that you work for. If you work for very reputable organizations like FANG type organizations, right? Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, or Google, or Apple, right? These are very well known to be able to hire very talented individuals. So if you have worked for one of those, or even working for a Big Four consulting firm like a Deloitte or a PricewaterhouseCoopers, that shows that, hey, there has been a very reputable organization that has brought this person in, and they don't bring in just anybody, right? So that's one thing. Another thing is, especially in cybersecurity, is that of certifications. So just like you were mentioning, Dr. D, for the PMP certification, the project management certification, it's very similar in cybersecurity. You can get certifications like the Network Plus, the Security Plus, or even the CEA, Certified Ethical Hacker, or the Cisco Certified Network Associate for security, or even what you call these SAN certifications. That shows that you have a very good knowledge base in your industry. And again, that's a public metric. That's something that you can put on your LinkedIn profile, and the organization also keeps track of that. And even another one, this is going to be the last one I mentioned, is as it concerns organizations or conferences that you've spoken at. Right? If you speak at conferences, that's something that a lot of organizations put up on their public websites. It can be on YouTube. I have several things on YouTube. I got certain podcast episodes with certain reputable individuals. That's another public metric that shows that you are somebody within your industry. So just like on YouTube, right, you have public metrics in the form of different sites and views counts and then regular uploading. But a lot of times in the tech industry, you have certifications, organizations that you've worked for, and also that of the public work that you've been doing. How about you, Dr. D? What are some public metrics in your industry that show that you have been putting in the work?
Whether it's a public or private or nonprofit university, and that's a big. When you become an adjunct faculty member, because there are private universities. The school I got, Robert Morris University, where I got my doctorate of science from, it's a private university, and they call it Bobby Moe. Anybody that's on here from Pittsburgh, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep. I lived there for 3 years. Yep.
You say what?
3 years.
In Pittsburgh, and then in Pittsburgh, you have Carnegie Mellon, you have the University of Pittsburgh. So because a lot of the teachers at Robert Morris that were in the doctoral program, they taught at Penn State University. The school has deals with Carnegie Mellon, and they have deals with the University of Pittsburgh. And that matters in the academic realm. Also, when a good example, when I did my dissertation, the data and the sources you got the information from, so that goes on to relate to your jobs. Where did you get your degree from? What did you get your degree in? How long did it take you to go to school? After you get your first job, nobody cares about GPA anymore. It's all about experience. And the biggest thing is that once you get your foot in the door, I can't remember the last time somebody asked about a GPA on a job. They ask about work experience and the things you've done. One of the Department of Defense contractors, I went into interviews, people look and see about 20 lines and they say, can you tell us about this? And they forget about everything else. I said, I can't speak on that. A lot of it's classified, but I can tell you this. And then I'm a black man. I have a top secret clearance. That already, when people pull my resume, and then when I did certain things for the Department of Energy, there's this other thing called the Human Reliability Program. It's the same capacity of being sensitive compartment information. Anybody that has a clearance in the military, they know exactly what I'm talking about. You sometimes take polygraphs. So the thing is, I'm a young black man. I have a TS clearance, and the Department of Energy is called a Q. Same thing. So they already know if this guy has a government clearance and has had it for 8 years, that means this guy's background is pretty legit, because to have a clearance, your credit has to be good, so he pays his bills. So all of those metrics matter, because on your resume, they can say, oh, this guy did this, and see at certain government entities, they talk to one another, and they'll say, because this group does the other stuff. So they'll all know, hey, this group did this group did that. So they'll all correlate with one thing. And then, like Gabe was saying, they'll look at conferences, they'll look at certifications. And then the thing is, they'll look at progression. What messes up a lot of black men, you need to be looking for a job every 36 months. If you stay in a job too long, it messes you up, because there are people, my fiance and I was talking about this driving last night. I said, people need to go interview for a job every 6 to 12 months to keep you current, because I don't know about y'all. If you ever been on a panel interview, it's very intimidating. You have people popping all kinds of questions. I told her the most intensive interview I ever was on. I went in the interview for the NSA in May 2012. They flew me up to Fort Meade, Maryland. This bald-headed black guy put me in the room and asked me 4 questions. Once he asked those 4 questions, I already knew, enjoy this hotel room. You won't have this job. Just going back home. So it's things like that. Just getting your foot in the door. And then too, if it looks like you jump to job to job to job to job, something's not right. You want to have stability, but you want to look, because I would tell anybody, it is the law of money. I don't care. We're going into a new year in the next couple of days. It's all about business. A business wants to make the most with the least amount of effort. That's the world of economics. And the thing is, you are at that company. That company, if they can get rid of you, they will. Don't feel offended. It's all about business. You as a person should have been on the offensive, saying, hey, I got this job. I need to keep looking. I need to keep my skill set up. What certifications, like Gabe saying, what they pay for? They can't take a certification away. And then this is the thing. If they pay for you to go to school and say you got to stay there for 36 months and the company goes away, that's a legal binding document. It's job security for you. If they got to let you go, they got to pay you. or your tuition is forfeited by them. You don't have to do anything. So you got to read the human resource manual when you get to a company to see what kind of benefits they're going to help pay for you, because all of that reflects on your resume, what jobs you can apply for, because a company will only invest in you what you invest in yourself, because you cannot go asking $150,000 for a job with no credentials, because a lot of people try to do it. And I'll go on LinkedIn and I'll see people, well, I graduated in 96 with a bachelor's degree. I want to write them a message and saying, you didn't think you needed more than a bachelor's degree to compete with the world. You always got to stay on top of the game, because when I graduated in 2010, there were guys saying, man, I ain't going to get no graduate degree unless somebody pay for it. My black ass enrolled in Webster University in October of 2010, and I started working on my graduate degree, because how I look at it, if I don't use it now, I have it in my back pocket. And some of those same people now are playing catch up. It's hard to play catch up in life, and it's hard to play catch up in the tech industry, and it's hard to play catch up in a lot of things. So stay ahead, stay vigilant, look at the industry trends, and see what you need to do to stay moving forward in your career.
Let me do this. Shout out to brother Alex Steele, Sonny Bravo, a little big dog. I have his show coming out. Shout out to King Riches. And guys, if you have questions, look, this is the Black Male Show, right? This is not you niggas know what to do. The dollar sign is there, so we're not even gonna tell you what you need to do. You need to support what we're doing, all right? So I have to tell you again. You know what time it is. So put the money in there, okay? That's how we're gonna do it. This is not you niggas got money, so do what you're supposed to do. The dollar sign is there, all right? Go ahead and take the Walmart prepaid card and you can get to work, all right? Let me say this: this show, for me, because I'm noticing as the brothers are talking, sometimes the best thing to do is not say anything. These guys have been dealing more in the industry, and working in corporate America. It's been a long time since I've done that. 2013. But what I can also say is, anything that you can do, there should be some numbers to back it up. Even if you're like a blogger. I mean, YouTube, there's Google Analytics, there's watch time, there's traffic from what area you're coming from, like stuff like that. So if you're a person, in the business that I'm doing, I might not necessarily use LinkedIn to network with people. It's not as valuable for me right now, but I do use my platform to position myself to get other professionals. So for example, just having this show, if you're a brother that is a professional, like we had Brother Ike on the other day. Brother Ike has Prometheus Engineering, and he does a really great job on this Prometheus Engineering YouTube channel, explaining like a whole bunch of things, right? Because he sells equipment to people. Just having a show like this shows your work that, okay, well, this is a person that specializes in Black male business content. There's proof of it, because there's a playlist you can go to and you can look at, well, there are Black male professionals that are here. So in whatever you do, you have to prove yourself to companies or to other people that can help you to do something. You have to. And you have to, like Gabe was saying, prove that not only do you have these certifications, I think the other thing is you're actually fucking good. Yeah. And you understand, because there are people that have degrees. I would assume that engineering or biology, it doesn't really mean that. I mean, you had a degree in this, but are you good, right? And I think that's another thing. Are you good at what you say you do? And do you have pride in your work? I think in LinkedIn, that's where those recommendations come from, those people. That's so important. I think a lot of times, like even on Upwork, and Dima's here. Let me tell you a story, just a quick story. I'll turn it back. So this guy, Dima is one of the guys that turned our channel, my business around. I met Dima in 2017. How did I meet Dima? I put a job out for an editor, and it was on Upwork. And there was a job I was doing like for a project, and then all these guys apply for the job. And Upwork will force you, it'll force the job the person given to the client that you can pick what skills that they have to have. And do you know what Upwork makes you do? It makes you take a test in Adobe Premiere.
Yep.
Or Sony Vegas or Photoshop. And what did Dima have to do? Dima had to show me all of these things. There's like 50 guys. Dima won the bid. Dima was working at an amusement park at the time in Russia. Dima has been full-time for the last 2 years. And me and Dima making all kind of money now, right? But the thing about it was that even when you are an employer, you want your people that you work for to show what they can do. And the way that I gauge it is because I can't listen to you niggas talk, because if I do that, I'll be broke. So what I'm gonna do, that's why I don't hire niggas off of just, oh yeah, man, my cousin, he's a good editor. No, I go my ass over to Fiverr or to Upwork. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make your ass submit all the skills that I need for this. I need you to be double premiere. And the way I'm gonna find out is Upwork is gonna make you test them, and it's gonna show a number, 5 out of 4, average, above, whatever. So before I even allow you to, I'm gonna look at all of that shit. And before I make the case on if you're good at it, I'm gonna watch you. And I'm gonna look at your stuff. I'm gonna look at your work that you've done. That's how you hire talent. And that's another thing you need to do is not only you showing your work to people, but if you're an entrepreneur, you can only go so big as the business is, the talent that you have. And you need people who are skilled. It's the only way you get better. Like, how do you think we can put out 10 or 12 celebrity junks in a day? All my guys are good. All my guys are to a certain standard to cut out this kind of content. And they had to prove themselves to do that. So even as an entrepreneur, I'm always looking to position myself and fortress myself around people who have this talent. Like, all I am is a nigga that has a bunch of people that have all this talent that have proven themselves around me. And it should make me look good. I might not be knowing what the fuck I'm talking about, but Gabe do, or Dr. D do. And a lot of times you have to be able to, as the entrepreneur, as the guy who's running the system, your brand is only going to be as good as the people that have skills. If you're the person that's hiring, and you can do this on a small level and make a lot of money. I'm proof of it. So remember that you can have things where you can force people to, you know, like I said, if you're getting a website built, blog built, a lot of y'all need to go to Upwork, Fiverr, and force people to show their skill sets and then hold them accountable and make them do the job. Same thing. And that's why on Odesk or Upwork, Fiverr, people have what? Ratings. 5-star ratings, 4.6. Uber, 4.7. Everybody has to prove their job. Airbnbs, people have star ratings, right? How good are they, right? They have to prove themselves. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to get help like that online, it's the safest way to do it, because people have their reputation on the line. If they fuck up, you can give them a bad review. Right. So you need to be able to keep that in your bottom part. Like, look, motherfucker, you better do this job again, I'm gonna give your ass a bad review. Do this shit over again. Give your ass a 1 star, nigga. So, so always remember that not only do you have to prove yourself, people have to prove themselves to you to come across and work on your business. So just also remember that. Let me just bring Brother Coach in. I'm going to school now to get an MS in IT management, but my experience is in computers. I think it's computer science, right? And tech support.
Computer science, I think, yeah.
At Fortune 500 company. So I'm trying to see how I can position myself to get into IT position in management. You guys are smart. I don't know how to do this, but I guess Gabe and Dr. D, then we go to Coach. What do you guys think about this? Thank you for the donation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I would ask him, in his experience in computer science and tech support, what has he done in computer science? Has he programmed? Because, in computer science, they'll ask you about software development, agile, waterfall, what programming language are you fluent with? In tech support, I know there's like 3 to 4 different types of tech support and help desk analysts. He could put himself in a great position to get into IT management. But when you get into IT management, what is it that you want to manage? The process, the people, the money? Do you want to be the person that goes out like Brother Antoine Wade and be a salesman? Because there's so many variations in IT management. You have to make sure to where when you pick this is what you dead set on. And what's the variations to go outside the people? Okay, he says, I want to manage the people. Well, they're going to ask you, like, have you had any management jobs in the past?
Project management, program management.
Yep. You might want to get you, once you do the IT management, you might want to get a PMP. My girl, September, I'm telling you, it was hell. She was studying day and night to get that PIMP. That's what the short name for it is. And it lasts about 3 years once you keep up your certifications, but it's only 1 million people that even have this certification. So it's very rare to find people that have it. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents to put in on it. And I'll let Gabe put in his 2 cents too.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying, but I actually wanted to add it on O'Shea's point about entrepreneurship and showing your work there. I think that's extremely important because probably around 2012, I started to get into real estate, started my own business and whatnot, right? And I was able to acquire several properties. And even there, it's very important to keep a record of what you have done, because there are times where you might require some funding in order for you to expand your real estate business. So one thing that's important is that you have your portfolio of assets and also the assessment of those assets. What are those assets worth in order for you to prove to a financial institution to say, hey, I want to borrow this amount of money. This is how much I have coming in. These are my overhead costs. This is how much these are worth. These are the projections that I see for the area. And now I want to be able to borrow this much of equity off of my property. And I want to get that from you in order to be able to expand my business. So that was something that I actually did this year. It was a home that I purchased for $1,100 actually back in 2013. And then it expanded, right? It grew in worth to more than five figures. And this year I was able to take out some equity from that five figure equity and be able to invest that in expanding the assets for my real estate business. But I had to show to the financial institution that I borrowed from to say, hey, this is the asset. This is how much it's worth. This is what I've had as it concerns the history of me doing business. And now what I want to do is be able to utilize your organization to borrow some equity from this so I can expand. But I had to show them, I had to prove to them, hey, this is what I've been doing over all of these years. And this is the confidence that you can have in me as a business person, a person who is an entrepreneur. So I think that showing your business, not only in the corporate environment or federal government environment, but also, just as you were saying, O'Shea, in the entrepreneurship. So I think it's very important in that field too. So yeah. And I go ahead and pass it on to whoever else. I think he got it still on you, Dr. D. I think you got to step away. But Hassani, if you want to get in too, if you want to say something, O'Shea get back.
What's going on, fellas? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I won't be very long because I got kids running around the house. But I just wanted to chime in on the importance of having a testimonial to show your work, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an employee. If you have a testimonial to go by, where you did an exceptional service for someone, that will take you a long way. And so you don't necessarily have to show your work, but someone's doing the proving for you. Hush, baby. Shh. Downstairs. And so I have one particular highlight, on my resume that I will forever, keep during my transition as an employee. As you guys know, I went back to work and now I'm back in the mortgage industry, is that I took a gamble on a purchase that a few other lenders would not. It was an $800,000 house, and the lenders were saying no because the DTI was too high. But the reason why the DTI was too high was because everyone was calculating the borrower's income on a more conservative number. And, as this person was ready to give up, I was like, no, let's give him, the amount of income that will qualify him to get this purchase. And as we're going along and writing it, everyone was concerned about, will Fannie Mae buy this loan? And so I took the gamble on it. I was like, let's give him enough income so he just squeaked past. And after he purchased that loan, or after he was approved for the loan, Fannie Mae accepted the loan. They bought it from our lender, and that particular borrower bought several clients to our lender because someone took a chance on them and said yes. And so because of that, because I was able to take a risk and a gamble on an $800,000 loan, that lender will always know me as the person who took a chance on a loan where no one else would. And because of that, I brought in several referrals from a borrower that no one would take a chance on. And so when I got another position, a lot of the other companies were calling, asking about that story. And when you have something to go by, not just something that's, tooting your own horn, but it's coming out of someone else's mouth, it's automatic validation. It's automatic validation to say this person knows how to do their job or they excel at it. And so if you have more and more people testifying about how well your services are, then you may not necessarily have to do any persuading on your end because you already have somebody else doing the work for you. And I'll leave it at that.
Absolutely. I agree.
Wow, that's great. That is excellent. Anybody want to weigh in on that?
No, that was a phenomenal story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's I don't know if a lot of the people know, but DTI is debt to income. If some of the people listening don't know what that means. So but yeah, Coach Ali, that's a phenomenal story.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I appreciate that, and like what O'Shea was saying earlier, about especially with the YouTube space, it's kind of one of those things where you have to really check down someone's efficiency to make sure that they're about what they say they are. You know what I mean? Anyone can make a blanket statement on YouTube, and you kind of have to take it on face value. But just like anybody who's an entrepreneur, anybody who is who has a business, when you get testimonials from other people, then it helps other people make a decision about you, based on that boosted credibility. You know how those commercials were, or the infomercials were in the 90s, where somebody was selling the product and they'd be like, "Wait, don't take my word for it," and they'll hop right over to the old lady was like, because of Life Alert, I broke my hip, but I didn't die because the Life Alert, helped send the ambulance. You know what I mean? Like the importance of having that testimony from your clients and even from your employer, just to say, during this time, Dr. D was so efficient that we saved on our expenses by 20%. It may be something very simple, but at the same time, when employers see that, they're like, okay, so he must know something about, saving on overhead that our people don't know. Let's pick his brain a little bit, and you're more apt to get a callback than somebody else who just, who kind of just lists what they do on a resume, which is a bad no-no. But, nonetheless, you got to be able to show it as show your work at some point. And another way to do it is to have someone else do it for you.
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely. Hey, O'Shea, I want to kind of bring up something and this isn't to pick on anybody, but I'm seeing some of the conversation happening in the chat. The black Tenoyo brother. Yeah. So he kind of presented a situation and scenario, right? And this it definitely will come back to the conversation. He presented a scenario, said that, hey, it's all these IT jobs in my area that only the Caucasian people are getting these roles. And then he followed it up by saying that, hey, these things are grandfathered in, right, for Caucasians. And if you try to compete, I'm thinking as a black person, and you'll get fired or something. And then he also followed it up by saying, like, hey, he was never into networking and he's a late bloomer and a late learner, which that's not a problem. But I think that that's one of the values of showing your work for brothers like us, right? We show how we've gotten to our position so that nobody can ever question and say, like, you got there overnight, right? So brother Black Tenoyo, I would advise you to look at brothers who have accomplished check out what's there on their social media. Check out what they're on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on YouTube, what they have put out there to the public, and see how they got to that position, rather than just trying to excuse it by saying blacks can't compete. Because if you're not competing yourself, how can you say that no other brother can get there? So I think it's very important to see, look at those breadcrumbs that brother like us have put out there. Follow what that is, rather than just saying, hey, it's just not for black people. Because if it wasn't for black people, why are we where we are, right? So I think that that's another advantage of showing your work, so that brothers cannot excuse your success with just saying, hey, you got lucky, or hey, they just let one black person in there. No, I was skilled. No, I put in the work. No, I went to school. No, I got the certifications. No, I did the networking events. I did what I had to do to get where I had to get. Right. And this is the proof of it. And you can do it too, if you wanted to. So you cannot excuse or push aside our success when all of the proof is there. Look at the proof. Don't look at your own situation as the only proven factor. That's all I want to bring up there. But yeah.
Let me shout out to brother Andre Hatchett, 999. Look, he got that suit on. He looking good. Look at it. Kenny Conjo. Salute, brother O'Shea, pulling up right quick to give a shout out. Sit to the Hall of Game. Peace to the chat. Be safe and blessed all. Thank you, brother Kenny. Keep it techie is in the building. Who's next? Go ahead, guys.
We'll let Keep It Techie look like he about to spit 16.
Nah, man. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing, man? I'm sorry I didn't know you was doing this, man. I hadn't checked my email today, and then I seen a link and I seen you was still live. I said, bump it, I'm gonna go up there anyway and just try to weigh in on it, because it's a great topic. You know what I'm saying? So I guess one thing I could add to pretty much what Gabe said, that's kind of where I was gonna go as far as like having a network, and LinkedIn is a great resource for that, as well as Twitter. Most people don't think about it, but Twitter is a great resource as well. They have like these different tag words or hashtags that you can, see other people that are actually working in these fields that you're trying to get into. And I guess that's what I kind of wanted to relate to showing your work. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people out here, because I had to change my look on some of this stuff. At one point I was saying a lot of times that, it's not that many black people in the tech field. It's not that many people interested in the tech field. But once I started seeing like Twitter, because I wasn't a big Twitter fan, but once I got on Twitter and I started seeing a lot of people, as well as, here in the manosphere as well, like meeting Gabe Bay, meeting other brothers that are in these tech fields. You know what I'm saying? Kenny Conjo, he's in the tech field as well. But yeah, just meeting all these guys that are in the tech field, I can't say that, or I can't stand by that statement as much as I used to in the past, because there are a lot of black people out here, or black guys, black men in the tech field and doing great things. And by, attaching yourself to those different networks that are out there, that'll really help you get into those fields if that's where you're trying to go. Like for instance, Gabe Bay, also an engineer. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure, is people in his network that are engineers, you know what I'm saying? Black people. And, you want to attach yourself to those networks. So LinkedIn is one of those great resources. But y'all go ahead. I'm kind of hopping in. I missed everything you guys have said. Y'all might have already hit those points, but that's one thing I want to add based on what I heard so far coming in.
Well, one of the things is I'm 36. So I'm a living testament. I graduated high school 0 out of 0. And I'll straight up tell you, in the year 2002, I'll tell the story. I went and got my transcript a couple of months ago. I graduated with a 2.00000333333. I barely got out of high school. That was 18 years ago. So my thing to people is, nobody cares about high school right now. That was 18 years ago. People care about what you're doing now. So don't let something in the past say, well, nobody in my family went to college. Nobody in my family did anything. No, black man, you can't say that. You have to fight through it. Don't let people sit up here and tell you what not to do. I'm following off what the guy in the comments, I was reading it, black toned your views, as Keep It Techie and Gabe was saying, you got to network and find people out there. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Being black, I'm in my building, I'm one of the very few black folks. I don't care. I embrace it because I know I've worked hard. I've outworked the other folks that got there. You can't tell me the long nights where I'm sitting up there trying to write a Java program about 13 years ago and C++ bloodshed, trying to drive back and forth to Orangeburg to SC State, going to people's room, trying to come up with these SQL schema stuff, not knowing what the hell half the time I was doing. The thing is, I fought through it. I got through it. And I'll never forget, one of the professors said, why do you stress? He said, the people may be smart as you, but if you work just as hard, you're smart just like them. So there are some things that come to people as a given, even in the linear algebra classes, even in the physics classes. I don't know everything, but I put my best foot forward and I went through it and I got through it. Even in the doctorate program, I had one of the dudes return my paper and said, man, this is trash. This was in December 2017. This was the only B I got out of the program. It was 2 B's. This was one of them. You think I let that deter me from finishing? I took my ass up there on that plane those 23 times and got my degree. I said, no, you don't tell me no. Nobody will ever tell me you're not good enough to do something. I always make my own destiny. I don't let anybody control what I'm going to try to do, because people will say, I don't think you could do that, because people always ask, why you went to school in Pittsburgh? If I had to go to Tanzania to go to school, I'm going. Like, oh shit, over there in Poland. If it was $1 million, I would have sold my left nut and everything to get there. That's how I believe in myself. At the end of the day, have that belief in yourself. Don't ever let anybody sit there and tell you, females, mother, father, your family. And I think I put this on some videos. The more successful you become, you're going to lose family members. You're going to lose friends. As Kevin Samuel says, everybody's comfortable being average. As you move up, that's where people disassociate from one another. Everybody cool making $15 an hour till you say, you know what, man, I could go back to school and get the certification and make 30. Why are you going back to school? Because now they can't shine because everybody on the same level. You come up and you're forcing them to do better. And the thing is, you have to realize once you start getting around people like that, you got to leave from around them fast as possible. It's best to cut people off now. I already said this. I think this is one of the topics. I've already told folks the year 2021, I told my fiance the same thing. These Negroes that you and I've been trying to tell to get it right. I said, the thing about the coronavirus, it has showed in life who was prepared and who wasn't. All the guys up here on the panel, I bet you turned blue in the face trying to tell people, hey, you need to do this to get your life better. Now, the late bloomer brothers or the brothers up here that work hard, everybody now want to come for your resources because they're not about to sign a bill to keep giving money to people for free. So now the person that was lame and corny, you sitting at home like, man, my business has never been better. So in that aspect, keep moving forward. Don't worry about what people say. Many of the brothers in the comments would have been way further if they would not have listened to idiots, they family members trying to tell them, you already got it in you. Believe in yourself. In the year 2021, I'm telling you, if you don't have your shit together when this year turn 2021, it's about to get very real for people. And you, to an extent, myself, I already have a cold heart because I always think about, if I'm down, how many people really going to extend the olive branch to me to say, hey, Dr. Dix, I'll help you do this. I'll help you do that. Nobody will do anything. The video O'Shea did with the other dude the other day, the light-skinned dude about the rise of the late bloomer brother. Y'all, us right now, I consider myself one of those. It is really about to take off for you because while everybody else was at the club, you were preparing for life. And so now you're about to reap the benefits, as we've been saying on the show, of all that hard work. And you're going to have to learn how to turn your back on people because it is going to get real. So that's all I have to say. I hope I didn't go off on a tangent, but being professional and just showing your work right now, all y'all guys that put the work in, it's about to really show. And all the people that didn't, they're really about to fall off because there are a lot of jobs that are never about to come back. And now people are going to be asking you for all the advice. When you try to tell them, man, come to school with me, get this certification. I have people tell me back in 2006, I make more money than somebody with a college degree. Now they don't even have a job. So you know, it's all about putting that work in. It will happen. It may take time, but brothers, it will come about. And when it comes over, and when that plant sprouts out of the ground and you reap the benefits, it's a lovely day. Put your cigar in your mouth and drink you some Hennessy, yak, whatever you do, and enjoy the damn ride, because it gets even better.
Let me answer this. Justin Walker says, can you talk about how to deal with the imposter syndrome? I'm 35, no college, but make over 100K per year in sales in the tech industry. Anybody want to tackle that? Thank you, brother, for the super chat. Anybody want to tackle that?
I've been talking a lot. Keep it techie. Hassani, somebody.
What about Ali or KIT? Or
what's imposter syndrome?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out. I'm trying to clarify what that is. Is that
Yeah.
like just is it just dealing with the idea of people just kind of put on the front about their professional career, or I guess we just need a little bit of someone to expound on that a little bit before I kind of jump in on it.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Imposter syndrome. I'm a little thrown on that. So if anybody else, Gabe, you got something?
Well, you know what? I guess until we get some clarification, I guess identifying an imposter, I guess you could generalize it just to make it just to keep the conversation going. I mean, the biggest red flag is someone who is always kind of bragging, the arrogance about what they're doing, and they're always reporting their outcomes, but they never report the process of their outcomes. And so it's really important when identifying an imposter is that you always have to do a little bit of digging. You always have to, go through a situation with a fine-tooth comb. And so if someone comes up to you and, they say, I make, I have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, but you look at their videos and they're only getting 50 to 100 views, then something's not adding up. And we would go ahead and do the digging to confirm that either those subscribers were bought, or something happened where they got a boost up and those weren't authentic subscribers. But it's all about questioning their rhetoric. If it sounds too good to be true, you always question it. And then, if they come back with something that they cannot verify, or they try to gloss over it, then more than likely that's what you're working with. And I'll leave it at that.
And just to read the definition of imposter syndrome, just in case anybody might want to add on this, but it says is a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments, and it has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. So I guess anybody else want to go? Because I was just going to relate it to IT, because he was saying the tech industry. So
y'all can put something in on it. Yeah,
and he doesn't have the skills. Well, that's why he pointed out no college, I guess. So he doesn't have the skills to back up. Well, I don't know. Y'all go ahead.
Well, imposter syndrome is pretty much the whole idea that, hey, I'm in this position, I'm getting this work done, but I don't necessarily feel like I should be here. It's kind of like I wouldn't say it's like a mental thing, but it is a mentality that you might have to say, hey, I didn't work to get where I'm at. At times you can feel a little bit over your head in work or in your position. And I definitely have experience with that. I know that there have been a lot of people that have told me, hey, how'd you move up so fast? Like, how'd you get to the role that you're in? And it can give you a little bit of anxiety, right? Where you can feel like, hey, I'm in this very high role. I'm getting paid all of this money. And the thing about it is that I didn't realize that, hey, I am qualified. So I think that a lot of times it has to start from there, that, hey, I'm in this role. And even though others might not think it, or I might have some bias in my mind to think that I shouldn't be here, you are in that role and you are performing. So I think that one thing that's really good to do is to start to mark down things that you're doing in your role, and then improve that, like show on paper to yourself that, hey, I am doing this job. I am supposed to be here. So prove to yourself on paper as it concerns your work tasks, that of your ability to do that particular job in that role. Because that's what I did. I started to write down all the job requirements for my particular role. I started to write down what I knew and what I didn't know. And I'm like, yo, actually, I'm thinking I have imposter syndrome. I'm overqualified for this role. Like, actually, hey, maybe I need to ask for a raise or something. So I think that was one thing that I did is write down what the job requirements were and what I knew how to do. And I think that really helped to kind of dispel some of that imposter syndrome in my mind.
Yeah, and just to add to that, that's one thing I believe the military helped me. When I first became a non-commissioned officer or a NCO or a staff sergeant or whatever. Well, a sergeant. Well, one thing you learn about is what they call NCOERs or non-commissioned officers evaluation review. So it's just a way for you to show your accomplishments for the year. So each year you would get one of these evaluation reviews. So apply that to your life as far as just evaluating where you are. Basically what Gabe just said. I don't want to take away what he said. He said it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? But that's essentially what I guess I wanted to add to it. Just evaluate yourself periodically, and that will give you an idea of where you see yourself, where you're trying to go, and as well as how you stack up to other competition within your field. So I don't know if that helps.
Y'all pretty much explained it.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's take care of that.
You say you there?
Oh, I just came back. I just came back in the room. Yeah.
Oh.
If you just answered his questions, I don't know if you had any additional questions.
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
I think that's pretty much it. And
yeah.
Oh, I have another thing. One thing too, I've noticed to stay professional and to stay out there, you got to stay up with the latest trends. As we all know, I'll put myself an example. I'm online now. I started looking for a Dell computer. A laptop. I bought a MacBook back in December 2018. And if anybody that uses the Mac OS, there are certain software compatibilities that are not current with Windows. So to stay fluent, I got to invest. And now I'm looking at spending about $2,000 on this Dell 17-inch computer. That's a good I'll use this as if a measuring stick to say, well, are you staying aware of trends? As we all know, back in the day, the people in India made all the money with programming. With the invention of artificial intelligence in the tech industry, with programming, you got to look ahead and see what's going on to stay marketable. Because one of the things I've noticed, a lot of people get into tech and they stay in one field and they don't keep moving with the current and the trends. If even a logo, if you look at YouTube when it first started, I think in 2005, 15 years ago, it has evolved. Coca-Cola, the logo has evolved from the 1800s. You have to stay current, you have to stay evolving, and you have to keep your skills up to date. Just always remember, what's hot now may not be hot 5 to 10 years from now. So that is a way to professionally get out there. And LinkedIn, even though I said, people get on LinkedIn and say other crazy things, it's a good way to see what's out there, to connect with people. And to keep your career advanced and to meet new people. I've gotten job offers off of LinkedIn. So make sure you keep your profile up to date. Anything you do at work, I say put on your resume. And that's one of the good ways to stay current and up to date and stay up with software, because it takes money to make money. So always just take a SWOT analysis of your life. What are your strengths, weaks, opportunities, and threats, and find ways to keep improving, because I continually do it, investing in some technology now to become more advanced so I can continue to move forward and make money, because as I see, things are continuing to evolve and I do not want to be behind. I want to continue to stay forward. So just remember to stay marketable.
All right. Anybody else?
And I definitely agree with that, man. That's something I try to well, that's one of the reasons I kind of started my YouTube channel is so I can learn as well and stay up on the technology. So not to give a shout out to my channel, but that's one of the reasons why I did that. And that allows you to just stay on top of new technology that's coming out all the time. And that's something you have to do, especially working in the IT field. Because I don't even work with Linux, but all I talk about is Linux. That's something that I do as a hobby on, separate from my job. I'm a database administrator. I work with SQL databases all the time on Microsoft's platform, which has nothing to do with Linux. But this is just something that I'm interested in that allows me to lab every day and learn new software that's coming out. Like I just recently recorded a video on Ansible. I know most people don't know about that, but that's an automation tool that's coming out in the future. Well, it's already here. It's where you can manage multiple servers from one system. It's an automation tool. You can take repetitive tasks, create what they call a playbook, and push all that information out to those other servers. It also works with Cisco equipment if you're interested in that. But anyway, not to take it too technical, but automation is coming, and you have to stay on top of the new technology that's coming out that can help you in the future. Even if it doesn't tie to your current position, it may come later on down the line, 5 years from now. You may see this application that you learned about and you understand about, and that can help you with an interview to get another job that can essentially get you higher pay from whatever that position is. So you just got to stay on top of the technology. It's constantly moving, just like what the doc just said. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted to say, though. And also appreciate you, O'Shea. I don't know if you're about to shut this down, but appreciate you, O'Shea. You know what I'm saying? And allowing brothers to come up here and put this information out. But go ahead.
Thanks so much, man. Make sure you guys, whatever prophet thought. Good to see you, bro. Make sure you guys subscribe to Keep It Techie right here. Subscribe to the bell, guys, especially for the Linux. He's doing really, really good in this industry, earning a lot of money. Doc, anything you want to say?
No, I'm good. Hopefully, we could do it again while we all got free time before the new year, because this the last Sunday of 2020, y'all. It's about to get real later this week.
I'm gonna show up tomorrow because I know I'm gonna get that email. We're gonna do a show tonight, so I know what's coming. So let me go ahead on and fulfill it tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're gonna be talking about something similar. But guys, I just want to, as much as I do, a lot of celebrity and entertaining stuff on the channel. At the heart of the channel, which has kept, I guess, staying power, is that this channel is about the experiences of African American men. I've been bringing in more brothers since I've been having the break. So we had on Brother Ali, we have on Sonny Bravo tomorrow. So I try to give Black men a voice through our platforms, and trying to get brothers to get connected, because this is our version of what LinkedIn is. Obviously, we don't have LinkedIn, but what we can do is if we know that Black men are out there and they're doing a lot of good things, it's easy to link up with a brother on the email or in the comment section. And we have a lot of talented Black men. We have brothers that I didn't even know. We have a lot of doctors in our community. We have a lot of brothers that are that are engineering, pharmacy, things like that, and doing different stuff. And I've been able to make a lot of money by just knowing some of these guys, just even in the YouTube community. So the thing is, the more guys people have access to, the more knowledge you have, and the more knowledge you have, the more you can monetize what you know. The more things you know, the more monetization that you can do, and you can the more network you have to your disposal, the less you're gonna probably be poor. So we just want to be able to take this show to the next level.
Sound like you went out, O'Shea.
Yeah.
Is that just me?
Nah, he sound like he went out too.
Okay. Cool. Well,
he was about to end it anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, white man held me back, so I'm back. But I think the guys are coming by because I'm gonna tell you, most of these guys, all these guys are very successful. Especially this is an African American male dominated show, and we are a lot of guys that are not representing our population. These guys don't have to come on and want to talk to you niggas. To be honest, most of us are tired of you niggas, and have moved very, very far away from you. Which is why all of us don't live nowhere by y'all. To be honest, even Hassani in Detroit, but he's nowhere near where y'all.
Yeah, I think the white man is holding back again.
Someone put that Sub-Zero on him, didn't they?
Yeah, try to wait for him to come back. Yeah, but while we waiting on O'Shea, shout out to everybody that came through, to, hang out with us for the haul. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys got something out of it. You know what I'm saying? Dr. D, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to, hear your voice, man. You always putting out some good information, as well as you, Brother Ali. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I would have known you guys was on early. I would have, popped up in and came through.
We on tomorrow night. You was on the
email. Yeah, make sure you're on tomorrow.
Yeah,
okay.
You on the email. We on tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely come through. You know what I'm saying?
White man held me back, brother. So white man don't mean so white man is doing his job. So we'll let the white man win tonight. We'll see you niggas tomorrow. Any last words?
Nah, I'm good. See y'all tomorrow night. Pending nothing happens,
Yeah, I was talking a lot of trash. I still ain't gonna live by you niggas. Bye. Peace.
Bye.
All right, peace.